So today, I want to talk about journaling. Hey guys, I'm Chris Lamberth. If you're new to the channel, this is another Daily Growth Discipleship vlog. This might come as a shock to you, but I spent a lot of time working to create a journal, and yet I have a hard time bringing myself to journal every day. Now that's kind of ironic, and it's a little disappointing to myself because I literally created the Daily Growth Journal so that I would have a quick and easy tool that will allow me to journal every day, and that it wouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes. See, the problem is I really am drawn to the idea of journaling. Great people throughout history have been journalers, and they give us a lot of insight and wisdom into some of their darkest moments and greatest triumphs. Some of the thought processes that really give us an inside look into little known parts of their lives. And it's hard to think about, this connection that we see between great people in history and journaling and think that it's an accident. Journaling has been demonstrated scientifically and sociologically and again, historically, to be an incredible tool to help us with our spiritual, emotional, and mental well-being. Just having a place to vent our thoughts, put them down on paper, let them go, to be more mindful of what we're thinking and feeling day to day, and then giving us a record so that we can look back over whatever period of time it may be, a week, months, years, to reflect and see from a better vantage point where our journeys are taking us. And as disciples, it gives us insight into how God is weaving our story together. It helps show us what God was doing in the midst of our lives, even when we didn't know He was at work. I wanted to talk to you then about why journaling is so important to me specifically and what my plans are for it in 2021. So this is my copy of the Daily Growth Journal. It might look a little different from yours if you have one of the green covers. This is the leather cover. In fact, Josh got me this cover for my birthday. Back in 2016, 2017 or something like that. He had his brother hand make this journal cover specifically for me. And so it's something that I cherish very, very much. However, if I look back through this journal, I started my first entry in this one back in January of 2020, when I thought everything was going pretty good. In fact, now that I think about it, it must have been during our 40-day journaling challenge. And if I look through here, I journaled almost every single day during that 40-day journaling challenge. And then I sort of fall off and I journal sporadically throughout the year. And the last time I journaled in this was October 27th of 2020. And so at the time of recording this, it's January 5th, 2021 right now, which means I haven't journaled in over 2 months, which is really crazy for me to have gone that long without journaling. Because when I first created the Daily Growth Journal, I really was journaling 3 to 5 times a week. And journaling has been one of the great spiritual disciplines that has anchored my soul and my emotions and my mind over the last few years. And so I really feel ashamed that I have fallen out of this practice. However, one of the things that we have been talking about a lot, Josh and I, and we've been exploring with other guests on the podcast, is that we shouldn't let these quote-unquote failures get us down, especially to bring shame upon us. And that's what the enemy is often going to use. He's going to try to make you feel ashamed for not doing something. And see, here's the thing with spiritual discipline. This is something I have to remind myself all the time when I am not practicing spiritual disciplines as often or as consistently as I think I should. The spiritual disciplines are made for us. We were not made for the spiritual disciplines, to paraphrase Jesus. We're not meant to be slaves to them. They are tools that can help us create that space so that we can come before God and spend time with Him. Journaling is no different than that. It can be just as impactful and powerful as prayer and Bible reading or fasting, silence and solitude. In fact, you can put them all together and you can really have an incredible time with God if you do that. But that's all that is. It's a time that you can spend with God. And as our lives ebb and flow and we go through those natural undulations of ups and downs, our life will call for different responses, different actions on our part. Sometimes we may need to do something like journal every single day. And other times we may not need to journal as much for whatever reason. I've discovered over the last few years, though, I'm the kind of person that really needs to journal. Now, that is unfortunate because, like I said earlier, I'm not the kind of person who naturally wants to journal. So, creating the Daily Growth Journal so that I could just answer a few things like, what am I grateful for today? Who is God calling me to be? So I can really focus on identity and in the core of who I am in Christ. And then from that place, answering other questions about what am I going to do as a response to who God has called me to be, either in the big picture, like I said, or maybe for today. Today, God is calling me to be more patient, more loving, more kind, whatever that might be. I need that in my life to help keep me focused and grounded. So I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately about then why have I not been journaling? Why have I neglected it? And the truth is I've just been lazy and I haven't wanted to do it as much. Is that really a reason? Not really. And it's, again, partly why I feel ashamed is because it just comes back to my own lack of discipline. But the point here is that I shouldn't beat myself up in order to shame myself back into doing it. Instead of looking at the stick, so to speak, I should look at the carrot. What is drawing me towards this discipline? What am I going to get out of it? If you're married, I think looking at like a date night with your spouse is a good way of looking at this. You don't think, well, I guess we've got to go on a date. Well, if you do look at it like that, you probably aren't going to have a healthy marriage for long. Instead, that date night should be something that excites you. You're looking forward to spending that time. You're looking forward to the benefits of getting to know your spouse more intimately and enjoy time with them. And so it is with spiritual disciplines, and particularly with journaling for me. It really has to become something that I put at the forefront of my mind to say, am I going to make gratitude an important part of my life in giving things to God? Because if I'm not going to do that, then I really should find something else to do with my time. But because I've made it a commitment to create a lifestyle of discipleship and to learn from Jesus and to walk with Him daily, I must put into practice daily activities that help me walk with Him better each day. The message I really want to, I guess, take away from here is that even though I feel ashamed of my failure, I'm really learning to not look at it as a failure. Instead, the time that I missed, the last 2 months plus, shouldn't weigh me down and keep me from journaling, and they shouldn't make me feel like less of a Christian. Tomorrow, though, when I wake up, I have a choice to make. Am I going to spend 10 minutes thanking God for what He's given to me? Whether that be my warm shower, my warm bed, that I get to hug and kiss my children, that I get to get in a car and drive across town to work, that I can go to work in 2021 while so many others are struggling. I'm at least able to feed my family. And on it goes. There's so much that I could be grateful for, and I am. So taking the time to simply write that down each and every day does a lot to feed my soul. But I'm curious to know, what spiritual discipline are you trying to implement in your life in 2021? What struggles and setbacks have you experienced already? And what are you going to do to make sure that they don't set you back permanently? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Look, the only way that we are going to make it through this thing and create a lifestyle of discipleship, especially given all the challenges that are sure to come in 2021, is if we walk together. So let's do it.